This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description. Hello and welcome everyone to our 206th session of HalloCasa. My name is Michael and today I'm talking to Simon Sjöberg from Medellín, Colombia. Simon is the CEO of Luxus Global, a luxury real estate powerhouse transforming Medellín's high-end property scene. Simon brings over 16 years of experience in real estate and a sharp eye for strategic investment opportunities. From his early days as a real estate broker to now leading one of Medellín's most forward-thinking agencies, Simon's journey is nothing short of inspiring. Simon, thank you so much for your time today. It's amazing to have you on the show again, and I always obviously love to talk about Medellín. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience in your own words?
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here again. And as you said, I've been here 16 years in the real estate business in Colombia. So I see myself like kind of an international expert to helping the international investors who comes here who doesn't know anything about Colombia or anything. So mostly we are focused on rentals and sales in real estate. I was running my business under another name during 12 years up to the pandemic came here, basically, and it was under the name of Sweet Medellín. And recently we have put together a team of three really experienced people from real estate and from other business areas in international or Colombian. So we have one associate, Paul, that is from England, but he has been living in Spain many years and also here in Colombia. And then we have Ana Maria, who has been running business and teams here in Colombia for over 20 years. And both of them are bringing a lot of experience to the table that makes us even better and more professional as a real estate company. So we are putting together a bigger team with other experts and from our network also that we can use in this area also. And we are really looking forward to have a future together which will help the international investors a lot.
Tell us, what's the market situation right now in Medellín?
I would say just by feeling how the feeling is comparing to some years ago, it's quite a difference. And Medellín is basically the most blooming city in Colombia, even more than Bogota right now. And tourist cities like Cartagena and Medellín, the rentals here are increasing hugely. And it's partly, or a big reason for this is the digital nomads also, who is coming here to Medellín and stays here for maybe 1 to up to 6 months or even up to a year. And I think, I don't have the numbers now, but I think Medellín is one of the most popular cities amongst digital nomads also. So they are helping the statistics numbers to go up also.
Is there a certain neighborhood you are focusing on? And maybe for someone giving us an overview of like the different neighborhoods of Medellín where you are operating, especially from a luxury point of view?
Yes, I will say, of course, we are focusing on the most popular area, which is El Poblado in Medellín. But the area that has the most luxury properties, luxury houses, will be Las Palmas or Alto de Las Palmas, or also the Loma Escobero in Envigado, and then some areas in Laureles also that we're looking to. And another area is close to the airport, Rio Negro or Llano Grande also.
You moved a long time ago to Medellín, and you have seen the difference between the old Medellín, like from 16 years ago. How would you describe the difference there and the trend and also the evolvement overall?
I would say when I came here 2009. Basically, all the foreigners that came to El Poblado in Medellín, and that's the big difference from now. Now the foreigners or the tourists or investors are spreading out all over Medellín. So we have investors in Laureles, Sabaneta, Envigado, even El Centro also, and neighborhoods around the city. So that's the big difference, I would say.
What are you specifically offering? What for services are you offering? And also maybe some projects and some listings.
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, we are more focused now to the luxury clientele, and we are looking into properties that are basically from $1 million and up. Some can be a little bit lower also. And we are looking to clients who also wants to invest. A couple of projects that we have is what we call here Airbnb buildings, where you have a whole building with maybe 20 to 40 apartments who have the hotel certificate where we can rent out daily. And this is a popular building that also avoids a problem with neighbors who doesn't like tourists who comes here. Maybe they be here for a couple of days. Maybe sometimes they're partying also. So this building are very popular here also, and it creates a very good ROI for the investors also.
You just mentioned ROI. What is the overall process if I decided to invest with you, work with you? How would I go by it?
Yeah, first of all, I would say the easiest way is just to reach out to us with all kinds of questions they might have, especially when they're visiting here for the first time, with culture questions or investments questions or whatever. And then we sit down and we go over everything, what they're looking for, their budget, pros and cons, what there is for their investments, depending on if they want to have an investment, they just want to rent out and they don't want to live at all in this property, or if they want to live here for 6 months or something like that, and then rent out for the rest part of the year. So we're looking into details what they need, and then we put together a profile about them and start doing the search. After that, basically, we started showing them properties first by sending them the properties digitally, so they can look at their computer or their cell phones themselves and make a short list. And then we take them around, showing them the places. And hopefully we find something that they like and that they want to put an offer on. And then basically we start the legal process, connecting them with lawyers or making everything in process that they are very comfortable with also. If there is a case where the person doesn't speak Spanish, for example, it's important to help them through all the steps. Maybe even provide a lawyer that are bilingual, for example, and check so the prices are good. They will be comfortable with everything through the process, and they feel confidence all the way also. And that's the most important thing I would say when investing here in Colombia.
What are elements for you where you say, okay, this is super important to do in order to make sure that, especially like me as an investor, I know exactly like that what I'm putting my money down for, that I also get it, and that I also have a very, let's say, high confidence that everything is safe.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is, and it happens once in a while, that investors want to save money by not using the legal help or lawyers, for example. So we definitely recommend them because they're playing with a lot of money here, and you definitely need to have a lawyer. That money is not something that you can save that way. You're risking your money instead if you don't using legal help. Sometimes we recommend also to do evaluation of the property, so they are sure that the value is the value we say it is also. Sometimes owners, property owners, base their price just by the heart, basically, what they think about the property. Maybe they had the property for 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and they have a number in their head that this is the number I want to get out of this sale. But the number might be very high comparing to other similar properties. So in that case, it's important to do evaluation also. Usually, when you're signing the promise, we're talking about 10 to 20% down to secure the contract. And then at that stage, also, we go into the details, what's including in the buy and everything, and when will we do the closing, how much time will both sides of lawyers have to do the due diligence and everything also. So I would say 10 to 20% more or less. Sometimes you can do a contract signing before the promise also to make sure that they are the only one bidding on the property during 1 week or something, maybe sometimes 2 weeks also.
I just basically act as an investor and then it's fully managed the property, or how does that work?
Yeah, we offer that also. And one difficult thing for foreigners when coming here, for example, when they buy a property that is not furnished and they don't know so much about the city, they have to find the furniture or equip the whole apartment or the house or whatever. So this is a help that are really helpful and saving time so they can start renting it out quickly also. Uh, we are helping out with everything else, with cleaning, maintenance, and this stuff, transportation when the tourist is coming from the airport, for example, to go down here in Medellín. Then, so it's a lot of services that we offer on top of just the apartment or the house.
But still, in general, to understand like also how Medellin works and how Colombia works for short-term rentals. Overall, if I don't have that license, is there a certain limit on it on a yearly basis?
Yeah, we have to separate two things here. Short-term rentals, which is daily rental up to 30 days. There you need to have the license to rent out daily, and you have to report every new guest to the tourist department here also, and they also have to alert when they're coming to Medellin where they are staying, which address and which apartment or which house also. Then if it's more than 30 days, then you don't need the hotel license, but you still need to alert that at the airport where you're staying. So that's basically the difference. And then of course it's economic difference also. If you want to have higher ROI, do the daily rental, of course, is more beneficially.
How much is the tax if I do that, if I do the short-term rentals?
We're talking about at least over 10% ROI, sometimes even up to 20% in some areas like Poblado and some areas in Laureles also. So, and if we have like the building, Airbnb buildings that I talked about before, if we're managing the whole building, we usually have an operator in the building taking care of everything, every administration, maintenance and cleaning and check-in, check-outs, everything. So we are managing all this in a package. And of course, it's much easier when we have a lot of apartments in one building than comparing to spread out over a wide area.
Talking about long-term rentals, longer than 30 days. It's just for me, I have like the entire contract as a normal tenant, basically. There's not taxes except for the annual tax if I have to pay for it after, I don't know, like based on my appreciation and also cash flow generating project. What's the process there if I want to rent out for, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 4 months?
Usually, we make sure so everything is clear before they start to rent out the first time. If they need accountant, which is usually the case, who can help out with making sure that the taxes are paid correctly and everything, and all other reports that you need to do to the government here in Colombia also are correct. So we're helping with all these parts also. So they basically don't have to do anything themselves. We administrate everything here also, so and giving them monthly reports or weekly reports if it's short-term rentals also.
Where do you see the entire market going? I mean, there's also, let's say, always two sides of the coin. It's a little bit like of a double-edged sword. And let's talk maybe here a little bit like playing devil's advocate of the foreigners flocking into Medellín because it's, you know, such a beautiful city. You have obviously the Paisas, which is a beautiful, a beautiful society in Medellín. But obviously, there's also a lot of gentrification happening especially in Medellín as a result of the digital nomads. How do you see that as a situation right now in Medellín?
Yeah, right now, as we're speaking, we have the flower festival here in Medellín, which is the most busiest time during the year. And it's a lot of tourists here, of course. It's some risks also if you don't know what's going on here. And of course, this 10 days that the flower festival is here, it's an opportunity also for some of the criminals who can make some money here also, pickpockets and that kind of people, and agencies that are not that serious who wants to scam people also. So I would say the best option to avoid these kind of things is to use a trustful agency, of course, that has been uh, doing this business for some years. They don't have to be bilingual, but they have to have experience so they know what's going on and help the tourists when they're coming here also. And I would say with all these positive effects, it also comes negative effects. You have some risk when people is coming. I would say the biggest risk is people who's coming here for just coming here for partying, looking for girls, and that kind of stuff. Then they are in or they're meeting people that are risk for them to be in some kind of crime situations. Maybe they even looking for drugs and stuff. But if you're not in these groups, then it's usually very safe, even more safe than many cities in US, for example, or the bigger city in Europe also.
Do you think politics will do something to stop international investors coming in to say, hey, we need to actually think back about like for our local Colombians and people from Medellin to live there, and talking about affordable housing, which is a problem in many large cities all around the world. Do you think there's something going to happen and this can also hinder potential investors?
Yeah, I definitely think they will come up with some kind of regulation for short-term rentals like Airbnb or Booking.com, like you probably heard of in Barcelona or Venice, where they're doing already now regulations, and this will be the case here also. If we look for at El Poblado, the prices there are so high for the rentals, so the locals, many of the locals doesn't have the capacity to own an apartment or rent an apartment in these areas, which of course is not good for Medellin in that case. On the other hand, the government also see the huge uh, money income they get from all the investors and the rentals, the tourists that is coming here. So I think they have to be very careful to find a level so they don't lose too many investors or tourists, but at the same time make the locals happy, and it will be possible for them to live here also. Otherwise, we will have a situation where the locals will live outside Medellin, which is not a good case either.
Regarding investors in general in Colombia, what do you think are tips and elements they should definitely take care of?
Yeah, I would say one of the things is when you're coming here and maybe coming here for the second or third time, and you think, I know everything how it's working here. So I go directly to an owner, I do a contract with him. He sees that you are a foreigner, so he sees money, that he can make more money directly with you. That's a risk itself. If you don't know 100% how the process works, then you can be in trouble there also. Sometimes maybe they're asking for a down payment for 6 months or something, and then when you're coming to start the rentals, you don't have access to the apartment, so you're losing this 6 months deposit that you paid, or whatever. So it's a lot of risks if you think you're knowing what you're doing, but you actually don't know what you're doing. So I will say be careful and listen to advices. And if you do that, basically 95% of the cases will be safe and good.
Now, thinking about, let's say, selling the property again, what would be there the process, and how can I make sure that I also can transfer out the money out of Colombia if I'm, for example, from the US and they say, listen, I'm done, I'm moving back, or I would like to reinvest the money somewhere else. What would be the process there?
It's no problem at all. Basically, you're just doing the sale. Uh, what is very important here is when you bought the investment that you registered everything correctly with the central bank in Colombia, for example, and in some cases maybe with your home country, especially with US, that everything has been registered correctly. If you have done that when you're doing the sale, it shouldn't be any problem. Just check. So depending on if you're doing, for example, a flipping where you can have a huge profit after selling, just checking the taxes and everything. There's some regulation that there is an extra tax, for example, if you sell in 2 years after you bought the property, and this kind of things. That's another reason for using legal help also to avoid these mistakes, which is common that you can learn quickly, and that money you're paying for the legal help is worth it every time.
Market to us and sell to us Medellin in general. What's the beauty about it? Why did you move there and why haven't you left yet?
Usually, I say to all people, and they still, after this 16 years, asking, why are you here? Why are you not home in Sweden? And enjoying Sweden, who is so beautiful and everything. And I usually say one thing for sure is like in Sweden we have a great 3 months, maybe June to August, where you have the Swedish summer. It's awesome. And that Swedish summer here in Medellin, you get it 12 months instead. So that's an easy answer on that. Then on top of that, you have all the people that are still, as when I came here 2009, they're greeting you, they're curious about you, they want to do conversations everywhere. It's so easy not to feel lonely when you're out walking or whatever, because everybody wants to help you. Of course, if you are a little bit street smart, you can filter which one have good intention and which one has bad intention. But that's basically the climate here and the people here are the two main factors that makes me stay here also. And it's although Colombia has many issues, many challenges, it's so many things that makes not only Medellin, all Colombia a wonderful place to live in.
Simon, thank you so much for the conversation. It's always pleasant for me to talk with people who are based in Medellin. You gave us another great overview and also for me a nice update again about Medellin, how it's evolving, your entire business, your possibility for investors to invest in real estate in Medellin. You gave us a very nice overview regarding the buying process, the obstacles there, and also tips for potential investors. And you also gave us a great idea of why Medellin keeps being such a beautiful destination. Is there anything you would like to mention to the audience which we haven't touched upon?
No, not directly about Medellin, but just people should also look in other areas along Colombia. Of course, the coast city like Santa Marta is doing very well, especially rentals there. Cartagena is since many years a very popular touristic city. Bogota is the international city, which is very popular, and they have very, very interesting restaurants and activities, everything there also. And then, of course, you have Cali, you have other cities here, you have the coffee region also, Pereira, Armenia. It's so many things all over Colombia that are very, very interesting. And I'm sure the development here politically is going a little bit closer than I'm used to, but it's getting better every year. So I'm hopeful that it will be even better every year also here in Colombia.
Perfect, Simon. Thank you so much for your time today. How can people reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me through email, or we also have our TikTok and Instagram accounts that is working very well. And we are doing a relaunch of our website in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So our website will be very interesting with, of course, objects that you can invest in also, and advices and every help that you need. Because the biggest thing when you're doing an investment here is to investigate what is the benefits for me. Can I do this without being too worried about my investment?
Perfect, great. I will put all the information to the show notes, and yeah, I'm sending the best regards to Medellin and a big hug.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
This video is brought to you by HalloCasa. Our tool transforms independent local real estate agents to global real estate agents. Create your own profile for free and get contacted by international investors. Sign up with the link in the description.